Good morning, everybody. It is Saturday, March 5th, and this isn't the video I really wanted to have to post this weekend. I'm going to start off by saying that I'm not too terribly emotional today, and I actually did sleep last night, but part of that is that I just don't think it's really hit me yet. And I think part of the reason it didn't hit me is because last night didn't go the way we had hoped or expected it would go at all. We made the decision to help Cooper cross the Rainbow Bridge, in large part because to keep him here with us would have required surgery, and he was 13 years old. That wasn't the best decision for him because of that, and because the ultrasound and the x-rays obviously gave us part of the picture of what was happening with him, but his blood workup and then some of the research we did on hemangiosarcoma after we saw the doctor on Tuesday this week just really helped us understand that even if surgery would have been successful only from the standpoint of that he would have survived it, prognosis after surgery for hemangiosarcoma, even when it goes well, would have not been a very long time. And we had already come to terms with the fact that this would probably be Cooper's last year with us for sure, because he was 13. That's really an achievement for a German Shepherd dog. I didn't know until this week that German Shepherds are at or near the top of the list of breeds that are most susceptible to hemangiosarcoma, and that the incidence just increases with age. Um, Obviously, I can look back now as I did with Bandit. Bandit, obviously left us for a completely different reason, but a couple months ago, I started commenting that Cooper sure does lay down a lot. He would be outside and he would still run and play and bark and chase after the horses and get into the pen looking for duck eggs, but he would lay down frequently. And I just chalked that up to old age. I knew that was coming at some point, and it does come for every dog, whether there's cancer or some kind of disease impacting them or not. But I went to work yesterday. Richard was home off and on. He had to go into the office for a little while, and then I'm always home at lunch, so Cooper wasn't here by himself very much. But night before last, he began having trouble breathing. It wasn't long-lasting episodes, but at one point he was wheezing, and I almost woke Richard to tell him that I thought we needed to take him to the hospital. But that subsided, and then he slept well. Of course, I didn't sleep well because I've just been worried about him anyway. And after the wheezing, when I didn't hear him breathing, I was even more concerned. So I was up every, 10 minutes with the flashlight, I'm sure bugging the daylights out of him because I wanted to check on him. And I didn't realize at the time how significant that incident was. But again, in doing my research during the day on Friday, I just learned more about how the internal bleeding that comes with hemangiosarcoma at some point, if it's not caught early enough and treated, means that his body would just become more and more fluid filled, and that the pressure of all the fluid would eventually cause a lot more trouble than he was already having. So we took him in for his appointment to make his journey. We got to the vet probably about 10 till 7 last night. They took us to a room right away, and he was quite alert. He walked into the clinic on his own. I was so proud of him for that. And they took us to a room. They put a little blanket down on the floor, but of course he didn't want to lay on the blanket. I think he liked the cool tile. And he laid down on the floor, but he was, laying down with his head up. He wasn't like in a sleep position. They brought him a bowl of water, and then a vet tech came in just, to get things started, ask us some questions, get paperwork signed. But as he was talking to us, Cooper laid down on his side and then began to have trouble breathing. The vet tech, God bless him, immediately recognized that there was a problem. So he called out the door, opened the door into the working area of the hospital, and called for the doctor. The doctor came in, another tech came in, and the doctor said, we need to take him right away and get him on some oxygen. He was going into respiratory arrest. So already this is not going at all like we wanted it to go. So they left with him. They came back, I don't know, wasn't very long, a few minutes later. Of course, it seemed like a long time because we're both terrified that he's going to leave us and we won't be with him. But the doctor came back in and just told us we needed to very quickly go with him to where they had Cooper on one of the metal table gurney things. He was on his side. He did not look very with it already. They hadn't given him any medicine or anything. They had oxygen at his face, but they had taken it off for us to talk to him and love on him for a minute. I don't know if he knew we were there or not. His soft tissues, the color of his soft tissues told me that he was not getting oxygen or hadn't gotten enough oxygen. And so the doctor apologized for having to move quickly, but told us that we needed to move quickly. So he gave him the sedative that they give him first. And, we said our goodbyes and reminded him of how wonderful he was and told him to look for Bandit. And again, he did not respond as if he realized we were there, but I know he knew we were there when we got to the clinic, so I didn't get to sing to him. That hurts me. And then they gave him the crossover medicine to stop his heart. And he actually fought it a little bit, but it was very short. It wasn't a long thing. But the whole process was just a lot more dramatic and not quite as peaceful as I had hoped it would be. And I'm sure at some point I'm going to convince myself it's because we waited too long. But again, I'm proud of him because he walked in to the clinic on his own. And they told us that even they had to pick him up off the floor. I mean, there was no time to go get a stretcher or anything when he began to have trouble breathing. They just two techs picked him up, one at one end, one at the other end, and they carried him away. But he didn't fight. He didn't bite him. They said even in the middle of a health crisis like that, a lot of dogs will still try to bite. And so everyone seemed to just love him even more that day, knowing that he was leaving us and obviously seeing that we were struggling. So at 7:15 yesterday evening, Friday, March 4th, Cooper completed his journey across the bridge. We spent a little time with him afterward. But, we were standing. We were just in the middle of the big treatment area, and there wasn't really any privacy. I'm not criticizing. I don't mean to criticize at all, but it just was not what we were expecting and hoping for, and it was completely different from when Bandit left us. That was actually a very peaceful, beautiful thing. It was only beautiful yesterday because we did get to be with him. We were with him before he left and as he was leaving. So for me and him, I I think that was important. Um, so I have no doubts now that he and Bandit are back together. We've lost other animals over the years. I know they've already all reunited. Maybe that sounds cheesy to some of y'all, but that's how I work. That's how I see the world. And I honestly don't think that when it's my time, I will be as stressed about it as some people may be, or as I might even be if I didn't believe that, because I know part of my journey when I reach my destination on the other side will be to see every animal I've ever loved. And that's a lot of animals. Um, and that's a glorious image for me. So, um, part of me, this is actually the most I've cried, I feel like, since while it was happening last night. So I'll apologize that you guys have to be subjected to it. Um, Part of me kind of just wanted to sleep in today, make the ducks wait to be let out. But, it's going to be a beautiful day today. The weather's supposed to be warm. We might have rain in the forecast for tomorrow, I think, but I don't think today there's supposed to be any kind of weather issues. So I thought, you know what? No, I'm not gonna wallow. I'm not gonna deny myself the blessings of what I do still have around me. So I got on up about 6:45 this morning. Made my coffee, brushed my teeth, uh, went out and let the ducks out. So of course they're thrilled to have their regular routine in place. Oh, and I want to back up that we said our goodbyes in the busy, noisy treatment area of the hospital. But we were really worried about Serena. Still kind of worried about Serena. I mean, she seems fine. She seems fine. And obviously we are going to be mindful of any mood, changes or demeanor changes from her. We did ask the tech to shave some of Cooper's hair off for us, so we brought that home in a little bag. And as soon as I got home, we told her what happened. I know she knows. I mean, when Cooper was wheezing a couple nights ago, when I got up to check on him, she got up out of her bed and went over and got on his dog bed with him, laid down with him on his dog bed. And I would imagine that she probably knew there was a problem long before we did. But we're just concerned for her. I don't think she's ever been an only dog, because I want to say even when she was rescued, she was still, she had been with other dogs. We don't have any plans to get another dog. We're not spring chickens, and we have to factor lots of things in before we add a pet that could potentially need us for, 10, 12 years. But I do worry about her because she's always been the little sister. She's always been the one that, almost needed a sibling to either pick on or follow or just be a companion for her. So my hope is that it'll just strengthen our bond with her, and we can just, shower her with affection and walks and fun experiences to take her mind off of it and help her cope. But we did let her smell that little, the lock of hair that the vet tech let us bring home. We will have Cooper cremated. They're going to call. They always say it'll be a week or two. So they'll call when his ashes are ready. And I'll share that with you guys again, because I know how healing that was for me to get Bandit's ashes back and to share what it was like to get his ashes back. But long story short, kind of to close the video, no animal should ever suffer. There should never I mean, in general, in a perfect world, no animal should suffer. And I don't think Cooper was really quite what I would call suffering until yesterday. He seemed to be happy to be with us, and but I started noticing a look in his eyes in the last, say, 36, 40 hours, that he would just, every now and then when we'd make eye contact, he almost looked kind of afraid. And I didn't know if he was maybe afraid for me. Maybe he could tell that I was worried, or that I was, preparing for something bad. Or maybe he just knew and he was trying to tell me that it was coming and that he was going to need some help. But whatever it was, I can spend the rest of my life trying to interpret all of that. It did help me. It helped me when we made the decision to cross him over yesterday. So again, I'm just going to apologize for being emotional. I'm going to apologize for being corny. But I know I'm not the only one that's dealt with this or felt like this or lived this. And my goal is always to encourage and educate and uplift people through what I share. So I just want everyone to know, I'm sad, obviously, but I'm at peace. And Cooper was obviously suffering before he left. So I'm grateful that he's not suffering. I'm thankful for the team at Creekside Pet Care that again showed us so much compassion, showed him so much compassion, and in spite of it being in this big busy part of the clinic, made it as positive an experience as it could have been for us. So, as I said in my bandit videos, please remember, animals are only with us a short time, and they're only meant to be with us a short time because they teach us the lessons we're supposed to learn in a short time, because they're just better teachers than humans are. So go love on your fur babies, your feather babies, your shell babies, whatever you have. And remember that there are no promises, there are no guarantees, and that they all leave us. It's not meant to be any other way. But I'm going to have a good weekend. We're going to spend some quality time with Serena, and because the weather will be nice, I think we'll be outside a lot. That's a happy place for all of us. And I'll take a little time. I might have some little short videos again that I can share with you guys, just little daily things with the animals here. But I'll probably take a break from trying to come up with a video idea. But we're okay. We're going to be okay. And Cooper's okay now. That should have been the first thing I said. Love to all of you. Blessings to all of you. Thank you for just following us on our journey here every day with our animals. And thank you in advance for any love and prayers you have sent or will be sending our way. Make it a good day wherever you are. We love y'all, and thanks for watching.
Can you smile for the camera? Can you smile for the camera? Hey, Coop. Koopa. Hi, Koopa Coop. He's so beautiful. Are you comfy? Are you comfortable? You've been laying there a while, honey. Sister's keeping you company. Good boy. I love him so. I love him so. I guess I need the flash. There we go. I love him so. Sweet boy.